Flooding is the #1 most damaging hazard in the United States. The FMA program, or Flood Mitigation Assistance Grant Program, is an annual competitive grant program that's funded by FEMA to states. And so communities within the state of Texas are able to apply on behalf of their citizens or their community as a whole for mitigation activities relating to flood events. The Texas Water Development Board administers the FMA program on behalf of FEMA to the citizens. So we essentially help communities with their application development, we help them with implementing their grant once they receive it, and with closing out their grant. The FMA grant program is not just reserved for big communities like the city of Houston, but also smaller communities like the city of Jersey Village.
Jersey Village is a place that feels like home. It's a small community, about 8,000 people, suburb of Houston. So you've got all the big city amenities, but a small town feel. The city of Jersey Village has experienced floods back 98, 2001, 2002, and then again the tax day flood in 2016. In 2016, we had about 215 homes that were flooded. And that set in motion a long-term flood recovery plan. Home elevations was the option that we settled on because that's a way for people to stay in their homes, people to stay in the community, but to elevate them so they're 2 to 3 feet above base flood elevation. So when the rains come, they don't have to worry about whether or not their water's gonna be coming in their front door. They can sleep at night knowing that they're going to be above the floodwaters if they come out of the banks of the bayou.
In addition to home elevations, cities like the city of Nassau Bay has acquired repetitive loss structures, demolished them, and turned the area into a green space for its citizens to enjoy.
We are surrounded by about 3/4 of the city by water. We've had both homes as well as townhomes elevated. So that's what was going to happen here. But in this area uniquely is that the treatment for the wood not to rot actually had corroded the tiebacks, so it was structurally unable to support the added weight of lifting. So that really created a dilemma because you have homeowners that can't really they can't really lift their house to get out of harm's way, which is why FEMA, the Texas Water Board, works with grants that enabled us to actually knock down these homes, turn it into green space. We've actually at the very end have got a fireboat ramp now, which now services to be able for police and fire to be able to use our boat in order to have more security. And we're thinking about turning this into a small park.
So the FMA program isn't just reserved for coastal communities. Property owners along the Guadalupe River are subject to flooding as well. So the FMA program has funded over 50 home elevations within that county.
We bought the house in February 2015. May 2015 was the flood. We were not prepared. We didn't know anything about a flood, what to expect. We received all the warnings on our phone, texts, the county saying water's going up, you have to evacuate. We received a letter from FEMA saying we're eligible for a grant for our house to be raised to protect us from flooding. I feel so safe now that the house has been taken up off the ground. Now, when I see flooding on the news, I get concerned about the people that their houses are on the ground, because this was the best thing that we did.
Whether you're a big community or a small community, the FMA grant program helps to reduce the risk of loss of life and property to NFIP insured structures, which in turn helps build a more resilient community to flooding.